Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another Sci-fi Model Action European Hangout. I think this is the third one now, or is it the fourth one? Fourth one. I think it's been going okay this last few weeks. We have a few people with us this evening, and there's obviously spaces available for anyone who wants to join in as we go along. And I have the Q&A open as well if anyone has any questions. If we start tonight, I know Jamie Shiner is sort of anxious to escape to his place of employment later this evening. So if we start with Jamie, perhaps, and then work our way back through everyone. Hi, Jamie. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Jamie Shiner from the UK, and been rather busy on the modelling front, so I didn't think I would, but I have. Been working on the flying sub, and at the moment I'm up to, I've decided to go for, most people do the flying sub with in flying position. Well, I want to do it in a landing position, so I've gone for the custom kit. As you can see, I've installed it. It is actually, the kit is actually built for this sub. It's an aftermarket part. Why they didn't include it with the kit, I don't know. I suppose it's all down to money and stuff. But this is the actual thing you get. This is the accessories kit. But I'm not going to put the front piece on. I'm having it on a base, which I've had from Jerry. And he sent me this to go on to the flying sub. I think I'd like to see this. This is going to be the base. So that's what the flying sub is going to go on.
Yep.
And where I'm at the moment with the actual rest of the kits is I've done a temporary put together for you. This is the one. This is the bunk bed and the lockers. I think you see this. Somebody's on the phone.
Yeah, it's mine.
So this is the bunk bed and the lockers that go inside. It's all light blocked, ready for the lighting kit. And we have these are the doors that go on to the. So those are going to be the doors.
Very nice.
And I sort of put this together. I was trying to get the figures all over the web for this flying sub, and I couldn't find them. The crow's nest figures, they just don't exist anymore. They're not on eBay. They're not anywhere. I even put an advert into the Sci-fi forum, and there's nothing. So somebody suggested that if you take the Star Trek TOS bridge characters and basically dismantle, putty, glue, paint, put back together, you kind of get the same size figures and they fit. So that's what I've been doing, and I've put some of the internal together. I've done the floor, and I thought you might like to see this so far. It's not glued, it's temporary, but I thought you'd like to see where I've got to.
Oh, it's nice.
Yep.
So you've got the floor.
Is the floor going to be backlit?
Yes, it's all going to be lit up, the whole thing. But at the moment, what you do, you build the internal. So this is what I'm up to so far. So
It's a nice size.
it's lovely. I mean, when it's done, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And it'll look amazing. There's a company in America called Just a Illusion. I was going to go and have you do me one for the flying sub, Ralph, but you don't actually do one. It mean you're making up a board for the flying sub. Maybe at some point you will, maybe you won't. But in the meantime, I went to a company called Just Illusion. They do a complete lighting kit for the sub, which I'm going to use.
Oh, nice.
I've got to sort of customize it a little bit to fit in, because some of the LEDs have got hot spots. I don't think he realizes that they have hot spots. So I've got to figure out how to get rid of these hot spots that shine through the. There's a board at the back that gives you the engine light fusion changing color, and he has a light blocking block to go with it. So you put the LED inside the light blocking block, and then it lights up the whole plate. But the problem is, when it lights up, you see the hot spot of the LED, which is not very good. So my question to any of you lot is, what is the way round of getting rid of that hot spot?
If, as it's Halloween, I know my fondness for Halloween bits and bobs. Pound World in the UK are currently doing all sorts of Halloween kits and whatever else. This is an example of what you can get now. Okay, it's a flashing red, green LED, but it comes with a whole set of covers. Which will soften the whole thing completely for you.
Then this thing I'm on about, I'll show you. Give me a sec.
If you put a series of them, I mean, it comes with more than one, but it just means you get rid of the hotspot very simply. But it's, again,
Okay, give me a sec.
use what's available locally.
I'll show you what I'm on about. Okay, this is the lighting kit. Okay, and what you have is the part I'm on about is this piece. This is the light blocking piece. Okay. Now this piece fits into the panel that lights up.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in the middle, there's a hole. Now in there goes the LED, and what it does is it lights up this complete panel. It's already pre-cut out.
It diffuses through the plastic. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, but you can still see the hot spot here.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
So, any suggestions how I can get rid of this hot spot?
Can you put some more material in front of just that little round area?
You mean put a bit of like tissue or something?
Something more like a milk. Boyd is famous for using like milk cans.
Which is the same, very similar material to this, you see.
Yeah.
So, what I would suggest would be try putting the LED instead of being right in the middle where it is at the minute. I would suggest putting the LED so that it's side lit. If you try putting LEDs along the side of the plastic, you may find there's enough penetration.
This is just going to be one. It's one LED that multi-changes color.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's got a problem then.
Yeah.
Try that. Try to diffuse just that center spot because you got an RGB type.
So it wouldn't be making any difference then if I black the back of this off then.
It won't. If it's working on a diffusion basis, which is what it seems to be, that's why I'm suggesting remove the hotspot to a point where it's not visible. You may have to then use two LEDs either side.
It's only come with one.
Ah, right. And then you'd have a timing issue as well with the colour changing. I know it's a pity. Steve Neal had a series of videos on the flying sub he did, but they've all been removed from YouTube because of music copyright issues. But he had a whole section on how he did it. But
the good thing about this kit I am pleased about, it's got this. Ralph will know what this is.
What do you got?
Oh, it's a photoluminescent panel.
Yeah, that's what goes under the floor and lights the floor.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
It really is a smart piece of kit.
So you got an inverter with it?
Yeah. I think that's what this is, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it has to generate about 80 to 120 volts at least.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that I've had that lit up, and it really does. You know, I think you just. The only problem it doesn't say, I'll ask you this, Ralph, is how would you stick this to the plastic base?
Double-sided tape is always the Scotch tape that's sticky on both sides. That would work.
Yeah. You can't use glue on this, can you?
I don't know about CA or super glue, but
No, I'm about hot glue.
yeah, hot glue would work.
Yeah.
Just to do the corners.
Yeah.
There's no danger with that amount of voltage, Ralph, of it being in any way.
Well, it is 120 volts. It is minimal current, but you don't want to touch. You see those two wires there? That's where the voltage comes in. You don't want to touch those two.
Okay, I'll remember that, Ralph.
And put some Scotch tape at least over.
If it comes up next and I'll click on it, it's got R.I.P. Jamie, you'll understand.
Jamie's hair his hair's already straight.
Are you
so
okay?
You can't get him about that.
Okay. Are you okay, Jamie, if I move on?
Just one thing quick. I'd just like to say I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, I got my stuff from America, which
Wally.
I just went before, and I finally got it. So, here it is. Wally sent me all my kit over in one big package. And the best thing about that was, I mean, it was a lot of kit. And all he did was it's a bit of a comedy, he just put happy birthday Jamie on the package and didn't pay a penny. So it literally got delivered to my door with no pickup fee. So which is kind of cool.
So long as customs aren't watching this video live on YouTube.
Well, it's not really live because
I know.
It was my birthday and he sent it to me for my birthday. So what can I say?
I know. I'd say congratulations.
There you go.
Well done.
Save me paying
Bobby, I don't know if we move on. Ralph, how are you this evening? Thanks for joining us in the European Hangout. I know it's a Sunday, and I don't know how much you do work, but you seem to be there all the time.
Yeah, I've been a little bit under the weather, guys. I don't know how long I'll be on the Hangout.
No,
My voice seems to die out, sore throat and all, but I've missed the other ones. I just wanted to catch up with some of you guys because I think this is the only venue that I can see some of you guys. So I just wanted to say hello and just be here for a little while. If you guys have any questions, and we can go from there.
no, but I mean, we're always glad to see you because I think you're the font of all knowledge with regard to bike kits, and certainly you're supporting modelers and the things that you're doing. So, but I mean, has anyone any questions for Ralph? Rather than
Yeah, I have a question on the B9 robot, actually.
okay,
Ralph, regarding the B9 robot,
Yes.
I'm not that interested in the ultimate play sounds. I like to do it myself. What I am interested about is what do I need? I'm not quite sure what I would have to do to get that twinkly effect. Is it something I've got to do to the board or something?
Oh, you mean the 7 fingers?
Yeah, because at the moment you sent it me and it just lights up, doesn't it?
Right. Now, what I can do is all the new ones that are going out as of a couple of days ago will have the wiring instructions that will show you how to do it both ways, the original way and then the twinkling of the 7 fingers, okay? The board can do either. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter how to wire up the wires to it. The hard work is on your end and putting the SMDs inside that little cup section. I didn't have, not being a modeler like you guys, I didn't have the right glues and kicker and everything. So the reason that B9 robot took so long to come to market is because of that little 7-finger area. I got delayed me by about a good month and a half to close to 2. Because I was trying to come up with a way to get LEDs up there, and it's well, you guys know it's a very small area. So the best I could do with the type of glue that I had was to just kind of light those fingers up with 2 LEDs shining down on them, and that it would just light them up. It's not a super bright thing, but a lot of people like that because it's to scale and not too bright. The whole push, the way I did it, guys, was to allow you to build that robot with the parts that you get in the kit without buying any additional pieces like some other manufacturers have you do. Now, some people have also brought up the idea on those little 7 fingers that come out. If you want to use, instead of the plastic pieces, those 7 plastic pieces that look almost like drumsticks, they have a beveled end, like a little light bulb end. Some people say, well, why don't you tell them to use a fiber optic because it will transmit the light better? You can do that. The only thing is then you'd have to refabricate the the end piece that looks like a little bulb and everything. So it's up to you. What we like to do is just give you the the stuff that you guys can't do, which is the electronics most of the time. I know a lot of you guys are getting pretty good at it with the electronics, but for the most part, that's where we are helpful in this relationship in providing that. So that's why I wanted to keep everything simple. And then I gave, by the way, that robot that I worked on was Boyd's, so I sent it back to him, and he did the work. And then he wanted to make it flash because he said, yeah, in the series, there was most of the time those the fingers did flash, back and forth. So he worked on it, and he was able to get 4 SMDs in there, and he arranges it at a certain angle so the light shines into the back of those 7 fingers that come out, those spokes. So he did that. He goes, and I listen to people. I listen to you guys because you guys are the people that build this stuff. You guys know how to do it, so it's amazing what you guys do. So I thought it was a great idea. Like I told Boyd, I said, Boyd, I wanted to go that route, but I just didn't have the glue mechanism to do it because all my LEDs fell apart once I put it in there with my super glue because I didn't have what you guys call a kicker. That it instantly bonds it there and it doesn't destroy the LEDs. And I think that's what Boyd did. So to make a long story short, you can do it both ways. You can do it with the flashing fingers, or you can just light them up. It's up to you. Now, Jamie, since you got the kit already, you just need to get 4 SMDs.
I've got the SMDs. It's just I need to know where to put them.
Okay, I'll send you. I'll email you the wiring diagram. So I'll email you the whole package of the wiring diagram, and you just look at the drawing that tells you how to connect the wires to make it flash. Okay.
That's fine.
The other thing is. There's a couple of camps of people where you guys want to do the voice, okay? Originally, the way it came out was we have a magnetic reed switch, and I supply a magnet, and you swipe the magnet across the switch, and it will make the robot index from one voice to the next, to the next, to the next, etc., as you swipe each time. Well, we had a comment that we would like to have the voices once you press the button. I want to hear the voices from 1 through 16 until he stops. He runs out. So what I did is to kind of please both camps. I was able to put not one set. I was able to put 2 sets of identical phrases inside that soundboard. So now you guys are going to get 2 switches. One will be magnetic, one will be momentary, okay? The momentary one is the one that you can push to index through the voice all at once. In other words, you push that button and he talks, he tells you all his sayings 1 through 16. The magnetic way is you got to swipe it to go through the phrases one by one. So I hope you guys are happy now. You guys can work them any which way you want. And on the magnetic switch end, if you want to use a regular switch instead of the magnetic switch, you can just parallel the wires to that, and you will not hurt anything, okay? So I give you guys a ton of options, how to do it, how not to do it, whatever way you want. It's up to you, okay? So there you go.
Right, cheers for that, Ralph.
Thanks, Ralph. Sounds excellent. Rather than do our usual alphabetical order, I'll just be different tonight and go from my Google right. So the first one up would be Randall. Hi, Randall.
Hi, guys.
This is stirred up a bit.
Catching me on the hop there. I'm more used to alphabetic.
I'm checking you're all awake.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Randall?
At the minute, I'm up to a couple of science fiction subjects. The first one is fairly obvious. Well, sort of obvious. And it'll be this here.
Oh yes.
Is hopefully, if you can see it, the top half of a Death Star, which will be scratch building,
Nice.
using a couple of pieces of a dome that comes with a popular confectionery, lint door or something like that. And when we get the two halves together, hopefully, where's the other half? The other half? Yeah, right there somewhere. Anyway, got the thing lit internally, and then do the light blocking and the painting on the outside, and then just use like a fine drill to make all the windows. And
Right.
I'm chain drilling the main weapon
Yeah.
thing. So it's taken me a bit of time because I have a Dremel, but it's way too fast for the plastic. I keep melting the plastic.
You tried instead of a drill, a hand screwdriver, because it Oh yeah, but I mean a motorized, rather than a pin vise, use a motorized screwdriver. You may find it quicker, but depends on what kind of screwdriver you can get a hold of.
Yeah, I'm afraid the only thing I have is this here. That would be slow enough, but it's kind of big.
Yes. Get the little small ones for screwing, furniture together. That type of one. I know I've seen them in home bargains, places like that, for like a £5 or £6. They're just a drill, a chargeable drill, but they run at a slow enough speed. Sorry, chargeable screwdriver that they run at a slow enough speed that they'll not melt the plastic. It might be worth trying, because if you have to do all of those windows with a pin vise, you'll end up with calluses on both hands.
Well, the windows will be the easy part. I mean, what you have to do is just make a dent in the paintwork through to the clear plastic.
Right. What about trenches and things like that? How are you going to do all of the surface detail?
Mostly by paint.
Right.
Just lay down thin strips of masking tape, lay on the paint really thick.
Right.
Tape. That'll get the maybe a fine relief surface detail.
Sounds good.
MPC or ANT or whoever it was that did the Star Wars kits, they did a Death Star kit. But, I always thought the surface detail on it was way too thick, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
For the scale, like this thing's supposed to be like 100 miles wide.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't see that thick a detail on the surface. When you look at the thing on the screen, all the detail that's painted.
Yeah.
The X-Wing, the Falcon, and everything gets really close to it.
It'll be an interesting one to follow. We'll be interested to see how you progress with it. Because it's a total scratch build, obviously. So.
What's it made out of?
A couple of clear plastic spheres, or hemispheres rather.
Is that something that you've made, or something that you've come across when you've been out shopping?
Came across when I was out shopping. It usually holds a lot of sweets, candies, and stuff like that. For a company lint door. The whole package looks like an enormous big sweet that's been wrapped up. And I thought when I seen the sphere or the thing to get in one piece, I thought, oh yeah, I could do something with that.
You haven't had issues with the plastic being too brittle, rather than a normal, plastic, brittle plastic.
Yeah, it's like the clear D, the plastic in it. It is quite brittle.
Yeah.
But, Randall, are you trying to get the two halves together?
Well, I have the lower half of the packaging raised rim. So,
right.
I bit the bullet and bought two of the things.
So you just plan to stick the two together?
Yeah, I will eventually. I will have a raised or let's see. Eventually, it will come together like this here.
Right. So what are you aiming for?
Have have a slight gap around the equator for the docking ports and what have you.
So what is it you're going to drill?
Well, at the minute, I'm drilling out the where the dish for the main weapon will go.
Okay, yeah. There is another technique you could use for that, you know, that I've found very successful in the past with plastic. What you need to do is you've already got your circumference there, right? It's using your heat gun around the plastic edge where you're cutting, right?
Uh-huh.
Not to heat it so it's melting, but to heat it so it's soft, and then get your blade and cut round.
Hmm.
I've had great success cutting holes in plastic with that way. It was trial and error at first.
That was a good idea, Jamie. That's a good idea, Jamie. We got to tell them the side effect. Smelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get close, you'll melt it.
Do it in a ventilated area, because I've done the same thing. It works.
You're going to have to wait for it and then take it all outside and do it.
But it's that is the best way to do that, especially that sort of plastic. It really does. And once you cut round it and it cools off, you got that perfect circle cut.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask, before I move on to John, Randall, I have to ask, who ate all the sweets?
Yeah.
Joint effort between myself and my good Nettie. And they were very enjoyable, yes.
Is he there? John? Hello, John.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
I lost you for a second there.
Okay.
I'm John. I'm from the northeast of England. Been building models for just over a year. I'm currently working on the Into the Darkness Enterprise, and I've been soldering like 1,000,001 LEDs, LED tape.
My goodness.
I think my muscles in my arms are much bigger now after doing that much soldering. But anyway, I've been having quite a little bit of success with most of it. I've getting the whole lighting pretty much done now. I just need to get this section put together, glued, and I've got the stand mounted in there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Come back a little bit. So this just needs glued together. I've got the saucer finished. One of the saucer parts finished today. It just needs a bit rubbed down and another coat of paint. But this has been painted today, all light blocked and everything. That's the bottom saucer. That was a success. But the top saucer is a totally different story. I took them outside to spray them, and I had them on a box, and I had sprayed them lightly with some adhesion promoter. But beforehand, I had rubbed them all over with some isopropanol to make sure they were nice and clean, and I had a couple of tea towels over the top of them. So when I took them outside to spray them, I had warmed the spray can up in the warm water for 15 minutes. And I put the tea towels on top of the box, sprayed the adhesion promoter on, and one of the tea towels fell on top of the saucer, and I wiped it after with the adhesion promoter on. And it's just, I don't know if you can see it in there, it's just a big goopy, gluey mess. So,
get your sandpaper out.
No, sandpaper won't work on it. It's kind of melted and...
Oh, right.
I've got a spare saucer if you want it.
Yes, Craig, I don't know if you had saw that I've sent you a message there. Have you saw it?
Hey?
Craig? Did you see the message I had sent to you earlier?
No, I haven't, mate.
I think you've got one kit that's split between 3 people at the moment.
Always buy at least 2.
I have been having quite a... I mean, it is a tricky build. I mean, I've only built like half a dozen models or something in the last year. And then I've been finding it difficult to get it all prepared, the light blocking. It is quite a challenging kit. And everything was running smoothly up until this afternoon. when I had this issue with the top saucer. So, Craig, I'll be messaging you after the hangout, and I'll be pleading with you to be kind to us. But that's as far as I've got today up to now.
I think Andy's the only one that's had some winning success with one model, haven't you, Andy?
Hold on a minute.
It's on hold still. Too.
Yeah, but it's just one kit, isn't it?
9, yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not like borrowed from several bits of kit from other people.
It's a bit of a Frankenstein kit, I think, from the sound of it. So for everyone, I think everyone's had issues with it that's built it. But
I mean, from a modelling point of view, I'm still a novice. I've only been building the models for about a year. I'm still learning a lot of things. I do learn quickly, but it was just an accident what happened today with the T-Town. I mean, I'm a grown man, and I had a lump in my throat.
well, at least you're honest. Too many modelers would never let on that they had a disaster.
Oh,
Can
well,
I have a look at your top a minute?
Who, mine, Jamie?
Yeah. Can you show me your top?
Jamie, that's personal.
A normal polo.
I mean, it's just completely melted.
I'm just putting on your camera.
These really black bits are just where I had light blocked it slightly.
Okay.
But all this, it's just melted and it's just really messy. It is.
Do you think it reacted in some way, or is it just down to the T-tail?
No, what happened was, well, I mean, there's the top saucer there. This has had the adhesion, the bottom saucer, sorry. This has had the adhesion promoter on, left for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then sprayed over the top. And it's absolutely perfect.
Right.
I mean, what happened was when the T-towel hit the other half of the saucer, I sort of pulled it off. It left like a funny pattern and bits of fluff and stuff like that. And in my panic, I just wiped it.
Have you still got? I mean, I can't see completely. When you say it's melted, has it melted right through, or is it just on surface?
It hasn't really. It's hard to explain. Adhesion promoter is in effect.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to be something you could do to have a go at saving this.
I mean, this saucer here. I mean, the plastic is relatively thin. The surface detail on it is relatively thin also. So if I start trying to sand all this glue down, I'm going to lose all my detail on the top of the saucer.
Okay. My suggestion is, it's only something you could try, but I've had like experience in the past where I've just done things and it's worked. Get yourself some putty, right, and completely cover your top of your saucer with the putty. Okay, so you have not a thick layer, but just enough layer on it, so you got a sanding layer. Okay, are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Completely cover the saucer all the way around, and when that's dried off, get yourself a bowl of water and get yourself some 400, 800 and 1200 wet dry sandpaper. Okay?
Right.
Start off with the higher grit. Right? Now submerge the saucer in the water completely. Okay? And then sand it. And keep going and keep going, and you'll find then the surface detail will come through, and then the parts where it's all rough and that will disappear, and you'll end up back with a nice smooth surface on your saucer. It takes quite a bit of time to do it, and it's not instant. It's hours and hours of sanding.
It's a good idea to try and save it, but the amount of work that would involve, I think I may be just better off buying a whole new kit. Then I can just get the saucer out of the box, put it on the ship, and there you go.
Or get Craig to send you that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, Jamie,
yeah,
but I'm still in a little bit of a depression at the moment over it.
Oh, we've all. I mean, I don't think there's one person on this meeting here that hasn't had accidents. You know, you've got so far, everything's looking great, and then you've done something that's totally messed up your work.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all done that. So don't put your head in the sand and think, oh God, you know, I'm pissed off. Excuse my language, but we've all done it. I mean, I've been doing models for 20 years, and I've had hundreds and hundreds of slip-ups. And I'll give you an example. You've all seen it on. You remember the Stingray I was doing?
Yeah.
And somebody, and I put a picture of it. Well, that's in the box, and I've still got to repair that. But yeah, I was. But you just put it away, and then you think to yourself, right, I'm going to attempt that today, and then you get it fixed. But just to show you, right, that not to be too disheartened, I was going to keep this as a surprise, but because since you're feeling a bit down, I'll show you, right, what patience, hard work, and grafting can do. Now, you all saw that picture on the web of that base here. So this model is rare. You can't get them. They're hard to get. So I have to really think about it. So have a look at this. Okay. I put it away, I pulled it out, put it away, pulled it out, sanded it, did exactly what I was telling you to do with that top. Now, my Stingray wasn't just melted, it was completely... But I worked on it, and I didn't give in. The thing is never on your models. And then, if you persist, and you learn from your mistakes, and know what you're doing and how to do it, and listen to it, you can do this.
Good as new.
As good as new.
Yeah,
And that's totally knackered. And all that
I
is,
see it was snapped in half or something, wasn't it?
yeah, all that is putty, and then sanding, more putty, gluing, sanding, putty. And the secret to this is the water. You've got to submerge it. When you're sanding it, you've got to submerge it in the water. And then you will end up with a finish like this. And you can't even see the break.
It's a good point, I suppose.
Don't be so disheartened when you hit a what's name.
See, I'm a little bit OCD as well. I've started a kit, and I won't be happy until this kit's finished and I can move on. I'm not the sort of person who can put this kit down and leave it and start on something else. I have to finish this kit.
Yeah, I mean, you saying you ruined that top, right? Now, Andy will back me on this one. I started to do that kit, right? And I completely did the saucer. And I bought a lighting kit for it before I knew Ralph had one. I got one from off eBay. And I put the lights in first time, feeling really buzzing with myself. And I give Andy a buzz, and I says, Andy, look at this, I've done my sauce, it's lit up. And what's Andy say to me? It don't flash right. So the guy who sold me, it's nothing I did, it was the guy that sold me the lighting kit. It was wrong.
Ralph will be on this, right? The kit costs probably equivalent of like $80, and on the instructions it says includes 15 white flashing bulbs, includes this and this. That's it. I mean, you bought 15 DVDs. It's like a bloody Christmas tree. There's people out there and even selling these kits, they're not for the real deal, and they're not. It's just a bag of flashing bulbs and wire.
Yeah, and the big thing was this thing was supposed to double flash, and it didn't double flash. And I didn't know that it was supposed to double the flash. I just followed the kit, like instructions for the lighting kit. But yeah, that was disheartening. But I mean, I was at that stage where it was glued together, wires were all in, and I thought, well, I haven't got a lighting kit anyway. That's going in the bin. So you do get. I mean, I've had 20 years experience. Yes, I'm a novice at this lighting game, but I'm slowly getting there. But you know, you do have things like that happen, and there's just the kit was looking great, and there's just no way I was going to even attempt to uncrack it and try and form out my own lighting kit, because that was just, I'd melted that saucer together.
It's a case, John, of a bump on the road destination, so don't get annoyed about it. I'm going to switch over to Craig now, and perhaps he'll tell you on screen now that it's not to worry. He will sort you out. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, actually.
These were made earlier.
Yeah, if you need spare parts for your JJ, by the way, I have like 3 kits in that box. So if you need it, I got it.
Just the man I need to see.
You had all mine, didn't you, Craig?
Yeah, I had yours, then I had to go and get another kit, and then I ended up buying a whole complete kit anyway, so I should have just bought one straight out, really.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because then you'd be saviour now.
Well, I'm not as far on as putting the saucer together, because I'm actually waiting for the boards to turn up from Ralph. But I showed John the other day, I've got some of these really tiny uber small LEDs, SMDs. I think they're, what were they, John? 0302s or something?
04, I think,
Yeah,
I mean, they're really, really small.
They are the world's smallest LEDs that I've ever seen. Oh, I've just dropped one. To give you some idea,
Get your magnifying glass out to frame it.
that's the SMD there. That is a 0.3 mil drill bit. And the 0.3 drill bit is like dwarfs the SMD. It's uber tiny. However, they work really well. So I've used those in front of for the registry lights, and you can't even tell they're there because they're so bloody small. But there's my registry lights.
Hey.
Well, I will get this camera thing right eventually. There.
So are they surface mounted, or do they pop up through the?
They're service mounts. They're SMDs, but
No, what I mean is, are they is the saucer drilled and then they're popped out and pointing forward, or what way have you done?
yeah. Well, the little teardrops that are on there are still there.
Oh,
They're
okay.
actually sat right in front of the teardrops with a like a 0.1 mil hole going all the way through. Wow. So you can't even tell they're there. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm also working on a striker for me AVP Halloween build thing. There's me striker.
Cool.
Nice.
Oh, you've painted it?
No, it's in primer at the minute.
Right.
It's going to be painted tonight. But I've used the same LEDs or SMDs in the headlights. So this has all got working lights on it now. Or it will do if I can get the battery on.
Are these SMDs pre-wired ones that you bought from somewhere?
Yeah. There's no way you can do that by hand.
GT.
It's got the headlights on.
Excellent.
This is 135 scale.
Plenty light coming off those, isn't it?
Got the brake lights in it. And you can just about see the red glow for the interior, what you see in the film.
Yeah, you can see it well.
Where that lieutenant bloke kind of gets grabbed out of it. So that's nearly ready for paint. I've got the same thing going on. Spencer sent me a Humvee, but I'm going to need to get another Humvee to go on the Dio as well. That's where I'm at with the Humvee.
We're fast, Craig.
That's going to have the same.
And they like that too, or?
Yeah, it's going to have the brake lights in it at the back.
Yeah.
It's going to have the headlights in it. And I'm hoping to get the orange lights going as well on the sides and on the front.
The indicators, yeah.
They're not indicators, they're like side lights, aren't they, on the Hummers? So that's going to sit on the Dio. That's going to go next to it with all the supplies in the back. I'm going to have another one, the one with the slanty roof that you see in the actual film with the machine gun on the top, the 50 cal.
I found one for you, Craig.
Eh?
I found one with the sloping roof for you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you about that shortly. But that one's going to sit in front of the striker as you see in the film. And I'm in the process of getting 135 scale aliens 3D printed. So I'm going to have one on top of the striker grabbing the lieutenant out the hatch. I'm going to have one where you see one of the soldiers is going to be led next to the other Humvee, where it's put jaws through its head. And he's kind of dead next to the Humvee. I'm going to have one grabbing a soldier and kind of running out of the diorama, sort of like with his foot in his hand, running off with him. So he's going to eat him off in the distance somewhere. So yeah,
Are you making models, or are you making a film?
I'm going to do Star Trek versus Aliens. I think that's what I'm going to do.
It's not, where are you going to put all this stuff? You're going to have to sell this stuff soon.
Yeah. I might have to, but.
A lot going on there, Craig.
And then on top of that, I've just bought that Alien Isolation, the PC game. Well, it's on everything, but I got the PC. Wow, highly recommended to get that. It takes you straight into the film, man. My shooter rattling. 50
Alien game, right? Have they?
Eh?
Finally got an Alien game done properly. The last few
Oh.
a bit of a disaster.
Well, the game sets you off as Amanda Ripley, Ellen Ripley's daughter, and she's gone looking for Ripley, or finding out what happened to her. And it is pretty much Alien 1. They send you off to a space station, and you got to go and find everything to do about Ripley. There's one alien in it, and it stalks you. It's got actual intelligence. So if you breathe, it hears you. If you fart, it hears you. If you hide in a locker and breathe and fart, it grabs you out the locker and then eats you. It is literally a stalking horror thing, and all the noises are straight out of the film. So if you're playing it in the dark on your own, it's like you can actually hear this thing running through the grates. You know the air ducts above you. You can hear it going clonk, 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 clonk. And then when it jumps down, you can hear it hit the floor, and you can hear the different noise, so you know whether it's in the roof or if it's actually stalking you. And you get this little motion tracker thing, and every time you hear that thing beep, your heart just sinks. You're like, oh no. You can end up in the game hidden in a locker for half an hour. You just sat there shaking, watching this motion tracker, and you see it walking by. You're like, ah! And then eventually it will jump up, and then you leg it, and then as soon as you leg it, it hears you, and it chases you down the corridor anyway. So you're like, oh, I lost half an hour of my life. Why? Oh! Really worth getting though. It's really, really good. But yeah, I completed it on easy, and I'm not brave enough to try hard yet.
All right. Okay. Well, that's so. So modeling time's been interrupted by alien attacks. Okay. Right. If we move on to Andy, go lightly. Hi, Andy. How are you?
And before we start, can I just say, listen, lads, I have got to go. I've got to go to work. So it was fun being with you, and I'll see you all next Sunday.
All right, take care.
I'll see you.
Bye, Jimmy.
Okay, Jamie.
Take care, Jamie.
Bye. Sorry, Andy. You okay?
All right. Halloween build. I'm still waiting for my masking issue to be fixed. But I'll make you all dizzy for a sec. Hold on. That's my little farmer's cottage kind of field thing. I don't know if anyone's watching the videos I'm putting, but I've got all the grass down in the different areas. I've got some soil effect down. And what we're going to have is the livestock about here and there. And then
You stole all your son's farm animals.
no, he's missing 4 cows. But yeah, I'm doing this. I'm going to have this alien ship coming over, abducting a cow.
Very good.
And hold on a sec, it's a bit bright because I'm not blocked or anything yet. But it does put down a little.
Oh, yeah, excellent.
I'm going to get some of that magician's wire and have one of the cows floating up into the ship, getting there, abducted to get experimented on or whatever. But yeah, some giggly, like floated on the thing just for fun, kind of. So.
Put a light on in the house.
Yeah, I'm going to put some, just a piece of SMD tape up there, made it white. I just want the window to glow a light, you know. But yeah, first time I bought one of these. What? I'll do them again. I think it was £5. Just, you know, 30 parts to it, but it's needs weathering and that, but it goes together really well.
Nice.
And the kit I got was that one, which is the triangle.
Hey Andy, I thought I recognized that triangular saucer. I'm actually talking to the Rick and Peter at Atlantis Plastic about I have a lighting kit for that I developed, and I showed it to them, and they were interested. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, because inside it's got like a little stamp and copyright, and it's got 6 mounting pegs. It says here, lighting something. It's got like a very faint website address, but on the kit.
Actually, you know those little pins that stick out inside the saucer? I cut them. So we have a rotating engine effect in there now, and it's also. Yep, that's you're going to see a rotating engine effect in that.
Yeah, to be honest, is it out and ready at the moment? Is it into pipeline or?
I'm sorry, say that again, Andy.
Is that in your shop, the rotating engine, or is it still being put together, or?
No, it's all done. I'm just waiting for them to come back to me, see how many units they want.
Yeah, because the Atlantis did another one. It was the E. It was like a little 3-inch kit.
Oh, I don't know that one. This is the TR3-3E.
Well, that's 5 3/4 inches, and the other one they do is 3 inches. It's only a small.
Oh, I don't have that.
A couple of 1,000 feet across. I don't think you'd get a board in it, but if you could play around with several of those things. They do get a 2 effect on the bottom, but it's beyond me to do that, to be honest. I looked everywhere, I couldn't find anything, but apparently, at one point, these kits were limited, or you could buy a kit, but all of a sudden,
Yeah,
so
I can.
orders.
That's a good idea. Yeah, the little 3-inch guy we could probably use for an engine effect. We have a small board. That's we can use for the TOS 18-inch, and we can make that rotate like a fan blade.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, your TOS. You could have one of them just.
Yeah, you can put it up. Yeah, you push it. Yeah, you make it face down exactly. The one that's in there now for the model you have, the TR3-3E, that one is it's got LEDs, not SMDs in it, and it's the one that we use for the Lost in Space pod. And I put some LEDs in there. There's a switch in there, a little slide switch. It's kind of a plug and play. It's all pre-wired, and there's also 3 LEDs for the corners.
Yeah, there's plenty of room in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it fit nicely.
I'm quite.
Actually lights up, Andy?
Pardon?
How much of that actually has light coming from it?
Well, I've not blocked anything because I've been using liquid mascot to mask the areas.
Right.
All the ones at windows, these are going to be like a blue maybe, and these purple bits would be green, but the whole thing set up in D-tape like that on the top and bottom, and then if there's 12, I mean, it looks like a Iron Man chess piece.
Right.
But then, being well, you can get it correctly.
So it's all light blocked apart from where you've put the liquid mask?
Yeah, which is going to have the windows and what have you there, and maybe some kind of red or green vent. And then the underside, I don't know what to do on that. One of those things I don't want to go put anything out. I kind of wanted to mask for a peel off the mask and away you go. It's quite thin plastic and it's very translucent, so different with acetate stuck. If it's stuck on the inside, change the colour, or maybe even change colour of bulbs.
It's looking good, but Andy, I think like Craig's, it'll be a very interesting diorama, and equally well like Randall's. Looking forward to seeing all three of them finished. So
Randall got those them domes. I'm wondering, Ralph should do a huge motor, and you've got two Bussard caps there. You need some drain pipe. And really big lid, get some sculpting on it. You can have a massive super scale one because there are good domes in.
well, I mean, I haven't got much to talk about tonight. I'm kind of embarrassed now because I've been so tied up with Star Trek conventions. I know you're all jealous.
So you can let me know how many kits you can buy.
I haven't stopped buying kits, but I've been busy with the convention. This time last week, I was on my way back from London to Belfast, and I ended up landing in Glasgow. But it's a long story, which I won't go into now. This awful night and awful flight, the worst I've ever had in my entire life. But I managed to get back here eventually. But no, I had a brilliant weekend. I mean, I can show you a couple of things. You may be interested in these because of what they are. But I know Boyd was at the one in San Antonio in Texas, I think, last week. That's why he was unavailable for the same reason, but we have a valid excuse. We're Trekkies. Hold on a second. So I had two things I wanted to get signed. One of them is if you're an original series fan, this is a poster that is available to download. It's by an artist called Dusty Abell. So basically, it's every episode of the original. Going the wrong way. Of the original series is illustrated in some way. Be it a character or a ship or whatever episode there was in the thing. So you've all the different characters all the way down through Mirror Universe and everything. But the important thing I wanted to get was the thing that's at the top. Which is
very nice.
Mr. Shatner's signature. And he was personalising last weekend, which he doesn't normally do. He was in such good form. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason was, I'll show you another poster I got signed, and then I'll chat about a couple of other things, but just bear with me that I put this away very carefully. That's one. But the second one, I'm a TOS fan through and through, but I also like TNG, and it was supposed to be an opportunity to get them all in one place, but then Jonathan Frakes pulled out at the last minute. So basically this one is... Oh, sorry again. So broad. TNG actors, and I got everyone's signature except for Jonathan Frakes, who cancelled at the last minute. So it could be another 2 years before I get the final signature. Model-wise, I have gotten a few new things recently, thanks to Gumtree, but I'm trying to get a hold of Reliant because I had my interest piqued. I got a second-hand collection of Star Trek stuff, and one of the things in it was a Reliant kit, and it was a DS9 and a DS9 runabout as well. But I've been trying to get a hold of a Reliant, which seems to be rarer than a Clear D. But it's just to try to get a hold of the Reliant because I just got interested from seeing it and how it goes together, and been sort of searching online and trying various different people, but no one seems to have them available. So if anyone knows where there happens to be one that they don't want, I think it'll let me know. But if we go back now to general questions again, anyone, I mean, if you want to ask me questions about the Star Trek convention, feel free, but unfortunately, no. Modelling wise, I haven't been doing an awful lot. What about anybody else? Any questions for Ralph, for example, this evening?
No, I'm good at the minute.
Okay.
Right.
Liam, on that Reliant, what scale is it?
It's the 1537th one, the not the 1000th one. I would rather go the larger one. I think the 1000th one I can get a hold of.
Yeah, because originally my stuff was made for the 537. Now the 1000 is readily available. We're coming up with a kit for that. That's why I was curious.
It's if I can't get the larger one, I'll go with the 1000s, but I just like the larger scale.
I understand. Why not? As a matter of fact, before I go, you guys are in Europe, so you.
They're showing up.
Stop it, Andy, go lightly. Stop it.
Oh, he's got one. There's a lot of people have that Revell, the 1/600 scale.
Yep. Including me.
TOS. I have the 18-inch one, and a lot of people have been asking me, can we do a lighting kit for the 1/600 Revell TOS or the 1/650? And there's a gentleman here in the United States that I was talking to. Actually, he's the one that brought it up to me about a year ago now, and we were talking back and forth, and he actually made a little casting for me, an insert. He says, why don't you use the same board, the same rotating buzzard board that you use in your 18-inch for the 600 scale and the 650? I said, yeah, that's a thought. I said, Chuck, I don't know how to cast. He goes, okay, I'll make something for you. So what he did is he casted, because he had the ship, he casted the semicircles, because they can go right inside the nacelle. And then he glued the two circles together, and then he made inner circles. So basically it has a shoulder, so you can actually put the round PC board in it, and it sits in there, and it centers it right inside the Bassard, okay?
Yeah.
So he sent it to me all glued up, and what I did is I took his lead and I went to a company called Smooth On. They have a simple starter kit that you can mold your own rubber molds, and you can cast your own casting. So I was able to do that. I'm telling you this to you guys because you might benefit from this, because you guys are in Europe and you have a lot of Revell stuff around. We can now, I haven't put it on the website yet, but you can now purchase that TOS 18-inch rotating buzzard effect, and I can make the castings for it. So now they will sit inside your 1/600 scale TOS and use that lighting kit for the rotating effect.
I would be interested in that, Ralph, because it's one of the kits I have, and
okay.
The only thing I don't like about the kit is the panel lines on it are horrendous. It's either build it the way it stands or move them all out. But Randall sort of has an opinion as well, I think. What do you think, Randall?
Yeah, the panel lines are quite deep in that. I didn't fill mine in, but then I was taking a lazy fit. The 600 scale TOSE. Yeah, there's a lot of the stuff that was made for the 18-inch that would actually fit it.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I must have a look at the website, Ralph, and see. So are you going to have this like an appended thing onto the order that you can add in the casting, or?
For now, if you're interested, just shoot me an email, because I'll have to send you a PayPal invoice. You know, if you want to go forward, we'll have its own model number. We'll have its own wiring diagram, and basically it's the same thing, but it includes the castings. And I think I'm only charging $5 for the castings for both of them.
Just material cost, effectively. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a round thing that's all molded together. You don't have to glue it, because with the way I casted it, it came out in one piece. So you just put the board inside of it. The wires go through it. You know, it's hollow. Yeah. And then you can center it inside the way it's set up for the 1/600, at least what he had, which is the same thing what you should have, is he had that little outer ring, if you will, sits right inside the ribs of the nacelle.
Right.
Okay, there's a spot for it. And the only thing is...
I haven't even opened the kit, so it's still sealed. So that's why. Yeah.
The only thing you may have to do is you may have to file and fit, because it's my casting. It's not a machine casting.
Oh,
you may have to tweak it a little bit, but the board will sit in the middle of it, and it'll be centered. So this way, we don't have to do a separate board. We can use the same board for at least two, the 18-inch one, the 600, the 650. There probably is not much of a scale difference. You can probably use the same casting and fit it in that.
Yeah. No, I'd be interested in that. I don't know if anyone else here has one of the Revell kits.
Well, I wasn't going to mention it. I've actually bought one, but it's a present for my grandson for Christmas. So I was going to help him build that like in the new year.
Yeah. No, it's again one of those ones. I said it before. I suffer from stachitis, but not builditis. I'm still buying, and not building enough. I mean, and as Andy and Craig know, I've been getting some stuff on Gumtree recently as well because I've just come across bargains that I can't resist. Not Sci-fi as such, but I'll annoy Randall with one. I'll just ask Randall to ask him what he thinks I paid for this. We'll see. 1 second.
Oh, look, Randall's showing up.
Oh, yeah.
You see?
Very nice.
That hasn't been smoothed, Randall. It's just as it came to the box. Yeah, I mean it's
I thought that as a practice for my Polar Lights one, this 350 Polar Lights Enterprise.
All right. Yeah.
I still haven't got around to doing yet, but. Yeah.
Did you? I mean, what about the 350? Will you smooth that or leave it as it is?
I'll be smoothing it.
Yeah, I think saying that back gets that thing. But what about that kit, Randall?
Is that?
Can you see? It's probably with me and my badly. It's a Zukimura 148 scale Shinden.
Oh, right.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know the kit you mean, yeah.
It was... hold on, so I'll go switch it to my screen. It's a very futuristic, it's a very strange looking aircraft. I mean, the detail goes all the way. That's the engine.
Yeah. And
the actual superstructure, most of the superstructure of the kit, of the model, the aircraft, a big part is in the kit. But actually, when it's built, it's a very strange. It's a canard pusher that the propeller at the back actually pushes the aircraft, not pulls it, But it's a very futuristic type of thing. But that's Gumtree. So that they go. I think you can only buy them direct from the manufacturer. I don't think you can get them in the store that I know of. But that's £10 on Gumtree.
You're kidding.
Well, I'll annoy you with more in a minute. I'll make it worse in a minute.
It's like £90
yeah.
or something like that, isn't it? If you buy it off
Gumtree, or Ralph doesn't know. I assume Ralph doesn't know what Gumtree is. Gumtree would be the equivalent of Craigslist here, I suppose, where you're selling something. You just advertise it, whatever it may be. No fees, the way that there's no fees in the way that eBay have fees. But
right.
And I know Craig knows that I found things on Gumtree as well, which quite often it's not an expert. It's not something who's selling something because they know it's worth a lot. It's just someone clearing their garage, or their son's gone to university and they want to sell off some stuff. And that's the idea behind it. But you can get some real bargains. That's how I got the Star Destroyer and things like that. Different things I've gotten that way. So, but you have to be really quick and pounce.
Yeah.
Should I do it or not?
Well, you don't have a bidding war. That's our advantage of it. So, but I'll make it worse. This is just annoy Randall night. What about that one?
Messerschmitt.
Trumpeter.
Normally 50 quid or so.
12. All from the same person. And the final one.
There's more.
There's more. That's terrible. What about that one?
Nice.
No.
12 quid as well.
Looks like a large kit, that one.
It is. That's 148 scale. And again, there's photo etch and everything in them, so they're actually. Sorry?
Where are you going to put them all when you finish them?
Get me build them first.
I'm going to send them to you, Randall.
I know. I might swap one of them for a USS for land. We can keep track.
Talking about the Reliant, Liam. I have an old vacuum form for Reliant in the stash.
Right.
I can let you have that, and one of the old AMT Enterprise refit kits that I have going spare.
Right. We'll
If
chat.
you want,
It's really the one that Andy has. The one that Andy showed off a minute ago on screen. That's the Reliant I would love to get because they fixed a lot of the issues with it. But I just don't like a kit that's going to take me forever to fix the problems. But like I think I don't know if you agree, John. It's if you get a kit that becomes like if you fight, it sort of takes the goodness out of building them.
Yeah, I mean, this Into the Darkness Enterprise, for me being like sort of a beginner, it is a very challenging build. I mean, the last ship I built was Voyager, and that had its own challenges, but I managed to get it finished to quite a reasonable standard. And I jumped straight into this one as soon as that one was finished. I didn't anticipate as much as the lighting aspect of it. I mean, it's got lights absolutely everywhere. But it was becoming fun again. Now I had getting most of the lighting work out of the way. I'm looking towards assembling it. I had started the paint work this afternoon, and then I had the disaster, which was like...
Yes, yeah, I know. Yeah, deletive expletives, I know words. Yeah.
It's all new. It's new to me. That's what it is.
Well, I've had it with that Christine model that I got to build, and it's been the model from hell. But I mean, we've all suffered it, and if everything turned out perfectly, what would be the point?
Yeah.
There's no challenge in it.
Oh, I understand that. I totally understand. I mean, when I was building Voyager, it was sort of getting the better of us for a little while. So I did put it down and start on the Kazon radar ship, and I managed to complete that in a few weeks. And then I picked Voyager back up, and I kept going until I was finished. But I'm really pleased with the way they've all turned out up to now.
I know, Rob. A question for you: with the, I mean, I know you sell all the kits. I mean, what would be the biggest selling kit? You know, the lighting kit for just to get a handle on.
It runs in stages. I guess it all depends what you guys are building. I mean, there were times, Liam, when the NX-01 lighting kit was selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Then we have the combo board for the refits. Those sell out a lot. But they run the gamut. Some days I'll sell deflector dish boards, navigation deflector dish. Once in a while you sell landing bays, but the combo D board is the most. Lately, the Lost in Space robot has been selling because it's a new thing, you know. But it runs all over the place, and thank God we have a huge product line, and we'll be adding to it.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that's the beauty of all the stuff that you do. You have just so much choice and things that can be used for more than one model.
Right, like even those, not too many people have it, but the Forbidden Planet, that C-57D saucer, every now and then I'll get orders for that, for the lighting kit for that, you know, for the engine effect. The space pod comes up now and then, so it's, you know, we make it ourselves, you know, so it's always available. One gentleman asked me if we could ever get them. I said if it's on our website, it's always available. It's not like, you know, you guys know some of those other places where it says it's in redesign or it's not available anymore. Well, there's a reason for it. They just want to get orders and stock up for it, you know, before they commit to have somebody else build it for them. But since we do everything ourselves, everything that's on that website is available. Sometimes as little as 5 minutes, sometimes in a day.
I mean, it's interesting to know. I mean, I know a lot of, it's like kit manufacturers, I mean, Polar Lights and all the rest of them, they cancel a model that's popular, and it doesn't make any logical sense at all, like the Clear D or the Reliant or various things. It seems strange. Perhaps they're working.
Obviously, obviously, Liam, they didn't have the sales that they were expected, and they're very ruthless about pruning the tree branch that doesn't grow well. You know what I'm saying?
I know Airfix in the UK, Airfix kit, they will if they discontinue something and they have stock, they basically reduce it, bring the price right down, put it on their website, and sell them off really cheaply.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they do that, but it's interesting.
I mean, of the people that are here, I mean, you know, I want the Reliant, and I mean, is there any other kit you wish? Well, apart from the Clear D, that, you know, Andy wants Clear D, or what other kit would they like to have get a hold of? Apart from, I know Aliens is the one that everyone sort of says, why don't they get the license going again? But
I want a Soloco.
yeah, we know.
Or an Nostromo.
Right. I mean, that.
A kit that I would really like would be probably a new Star Destroyer.
Yeah, but it would need to be. Well, I mean, the Bandai one, in theory, is coming out ranting, but going by the size, the price will be insane.
Through the ceiling, yeah.
And there'll be no work for Ralph because they come with everything already in them. But
Yeah.
What do you mean, Liam? Like kits from the past, what they're not making anymore, type of thing.
both, and you know, stuff that's never been built or stuff that you just can't get anymore, John. I know. I mean, I would love to do a Lost in Space Jupiter 2, but I just don't think I would do it justice. I don't think I could do a good job of it. And I think you've got one, Randall. Is that right? Recently you got one, no? Oh, you got the Forbidden Planet one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the 144 scale Forbidden Planet one, but I also have the.
Yeah, I mean, I would like that because it looks straightforward. Yeah. But I don't. I mean, it's one of those things. There's always going to be a kit that you want that you haven't got. But again, it's my goal still to fill the refit. The refit eventually that would be the one. But it could be another 2-3 years before I'll even think about it because I just don't have the experience or require for it. I think.
Well, you've done so many things, Liam. Why not? You just an extension, right? Just that they're slightly different.
Yeah, I would need a much bigger space in the garage. Put it that way, and that's the problem. Or just clean everything out. As my son would say, throw it away, Dad. You don't need it. It's been here for 2 years.
Yes, throw it in this direction.
They all suffer from that. But, any other questions tonight, guys? Or
I have a question for Ralph, maybe. The Death Star that I'm working on, I have been thinking of installing the laser effect. Not with an actual laser. I don't want to blind anyone by accident or anything like that. But there's when the main laser cannon fires up, there's like 6 sort of subsidiary lasers that light up around the edge of the crater that the weapon's in, and then the center beam comes out, and it sort of comes on in a sequence, sort of like 2 opposite each other. And then builds up to the 6, and then fires the main laser. I wonder, could there be a board made for that, or an easy thing to click up yourself or something like that?
you need to go for a laser, Randall. That's the thing.
I was thinking, I don't necessarily have to go for a laser.
Just an LED effect.
Yeah, LED effects. Does
it need sound, Randall?
No, I'm not worried about sounds. No.
Okay, good. Okay. If you can, do you have a link that you can send to me, email to me, how it works? That way I can look at it.
Yeah. If you look at the firing sequence on Star Wars at all, and there's like around the periphery of the crater that the main weapon is on the thing.
It's on YouTube, Randall, as a little clip. I think if you send Ralph the YouTube clip of Death Star firing, it is there, I think.
I can even, if it's there, I can look it up myself and take a peek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Randall, it'll be good for you to email me something. That way I'll have you. If not, I'm notorious for forgetting. At my young age, I will forget. But if you send me an email, then I'll know, that you need it.
Get that sorted out, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Not a problem. I'll get that sorted out.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anyone else?
Nope.
No, I think. Well, I want to say thanks to you all tonight. I know, especially need to thank Ralph because I know it's his personal time he's put in here. We're all mad modelers and we're quite happy to put the time in, but I know it's his sort of his own home time, wherever it might be on a Sunday that he's put in for us. So appreciate that. I'd like to thank you all for attending tonight's Sci-Fi Model Action European Hangout, and as always, thanks guys for turning up. Or is that? Does he hear me? No. I was saying, is there anything I need to add to that, or you're more experienced host? You've done it twice, haven't you? Done it once before.
No.
Oh, we're doing okay. Well, as I say, thanks for everybody for attending, and hopefully see some of you or all of you next week again. And enjoy tonight. Thanks to Andy Golightly, to Kerr, John Petrie, Randall Scott, and of course to Ralph at Tenna Controls. Good night,
guys. Good night, guys.
Good night.